Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Howard Wolk, the community chaplain with Jewish Family Service. Reminder that our food pantry has been open for several weeks. On Thursday, for individuals or families to come by, no appointment is necessary. Anyone who would like to speak to me privately, you're welcome to call 469-206-1681. 469-206-1681, or email me at rabbiwolk@jfsdallas.org. If you'd like to speak to a JFS clinician or social worker, please call 972-437-9950, 972-437-9950. A couple of ideas I'd like to share with you. As I'm recording this coming Monday, May 25th, we'll be observing Memorial Day, a very important date on our American holiday. It's the day, of course, that we recall the tremendous sacrifices that men and women have made over decades, hundreds of years fighting for American freedom. My father, Alav Shalom, was a member of the U.S. Navy for several years. Fought in World War II in the Pacific. If you are a veteran, our thanks to you. You had family members who are veterans. It's a day to really recall them, express our appreciation. I would say, unfortunately, in the United States, Memorial Day has really become degraded in most circles. And what we most associate with Memorial Day are barbecues and mattress sales. And that's not how it's supposed to be. So it's important for us to take out a few moments on that Monday to remember the many sacrifices that people have made, and to also express and realize our appreciation for the current members of the armed forces who are protecting us all over the world. We are now, as I record this, 1 week from the holiday of Shavuot. We're in the period of the calendar year, the counting of the Omer. We count 49 days, 7 weeks from Passover to Shavuot. Passover represents the physical freedom of the Jewish people, but the ultimate purpose was not for the Israelites to simply leave slavery and bondage and run wild in the desert. The ultimate purpose was to arrive at Mount Sinai, to hear the 10 Commandments, to receive the Torah, and which has been the guide for the Jewish people since that time, and the guide for all of mankind. Of the 613 mitzvot, or commandments in the Torah, 7 are called the Noahide laws. 7 laws, 7 mitzvot, or really 7 categories, are incumbent upon Jews and Gentiles alike. There are really 7 categories which come to about 50 or 53 different mitzvot. So to this day, wherever there is still morality and ethics in the world, the foundation is still the Torah and that moment when we became, as Rabbi Soloveitchik describes us, a covenantal people. We made a covenant with God. And one of the themes of the holiday of Shavuot, Shavuot means weeks, marking the 7-week period. One of the important messages is one of unity. When the book of Exodus describes the Israelites encamping at Mount Sinai, the verb is in the singular, vayichan. All other places where the Israelites are described camping, traveling, speaking, the verb is always in the plural, to denote that there were different groups and disagreements. But when the people arrived at Sinai, there was perfect unity. Hence, the verb was in the singular. And that's really the major theme of the holiday, unity of the Jewish people, the unity of our community, and certainly what we've been experiencing together with all other people during these past 10 weeks or so, likewise to remind us of the importance of unity. Just want to share with you a quick story which I think underscores this idea. Story goes back to kibbutz in North Israel into the early 1960s. And there were two men on the kibbutz, Moshe and Ram, who had worked together for several years and then had an agreement and actually had a fight, had a physical fight, and had to be broken up. And many months, over a year, went by when they didn't speak to one another. About a year later, the kibbutz was having a meeting, and different people who had come to Israel from Europe were asked to describe their experiences. And Moshe, one of the participants in that fight, described that he was on a ship heading toward Israel. This is before the independence of the state. And the ship was stopped by the British. And for a long time, the people were not certain. Would they be allowed to continue on to Israel? Would they be sent back to Cyprus? And he described the feeling of despondency that descended upon the men and women and children on the ship. Until, he said, a young boy climbed the flagpole on the ship, took out from his pocket an Israeli flag, affixed it to the top of the flagpole, and instantaneously the hundreds aboard the ship began to sing Hatikvah. And Moshe described that the feelings of despondency were transformed into hopefulness. Hatikvah, that's what Hatikvah means, the hope. And he described a completely different mood from the people. The people were now hopeful. They were confident they would reach their destination of the Holy Land. And Moshe concluded his description by saying, if that boy was here today, I would go over to him and hug him for what he did for all of us. And with that, Ram, sitting in the back of the room, the fellow that Moshe had fought with, stood up and said, Moshe, hug me. I was that boy. And the two of them embraced. And I think this story on a small scale really describes the feelings of unity that we have to have with one another. We're doing virtual hugging, but really a hugging of the heart. The rabbis explain that the people reaching Mount Sinai, as I said in the singular, that they in the singular encamped, literally he encamped as one. The rabbis explain with one heart like one person. And that's the feelings that we should have as we head into the holiday of Shavuot. Those are the feelings that we should have when we emerge from the celebration. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a meaningful Memorial Day and a Chag Sameach, a happy Shavuot holiday. Thank you for your attention.